This is Coach Baines, TFT Athletics. Best 40-yard dash time, 4.12 seconds. That took a lot of dedication, a lot of coaching, mentoring, along with the athlete understanding the importance of their training and being consistent and having discipline when training. Today's topic is about why athletes are struggling to get to higher levels after high school or being able to go professional. What I found through personal experience and training athletes for over 20 years, that we'll find that some coaches, a percentage of coaches, do not have the proper education or the passion or the know-how on how to actually train the athletes properly, or even putting them or placing them in the best position that's going to help them excel in their careers in sports. It's not to down coaches or anything in that kind of way. Please do not take it that way. But I found through experience over the years where athletes were not getting the proper education. They were not getting the proper training. A lot of injuries were coming in. Just things that were just dampening their spirit as a person, alongside with experiencing low self-esteem and low self-confidence. And I understand that in a lot of cases where coaches are trying to make sure they meet a deadline, they're trying to make sure they, taking care of their families, get their paycheck and stipends, have some type of agreement, with the board, trying to make sure they look good and things like that. But the ones that are suffering are the athletes. Don't get me wrong. Some athletes are not coachable. Some athletes, they have issues going on emotionally, mentally, spiritually, have character development problems, anger management problems. But at the same time, some coaches are experiencing the same thing. It has to be a thing where there is a calling. Some coaches, it's not a calling. They may have an NFL badge on their chest, where, hey, I'm going to go ahead and coach athletes and, coach them in football or, coaching basketball. I played pro for a while. Well, in some cases, in a lot of cases, we need some more education, even if it's a passion, but at the same time, it may not be a calling, so it's a difference, so it takes a lot nowadays to really help our athletes to excel in their dreams. We have guys that are having issues with making progress in the program. We got to sometimes take some individual, do some individual things with those type of athletes. Instead of just putting them on the bench, push them to the side. I can't win with him anyway, so go ahead and get him out the way. This is not the mentality that we're supposed to have as professionals. And then some of us are not professionals. In some cases, we're dealing around with individuals that are having hardships with themselves, difficulties with understanding and having the correct knowledge on how to actually help an athlete fulfill their dreams and go into college after high school to play for their favorite sport. So, leave some comments. Let's have a discussion about some of these things. This is Coach Baines, TFT Athletics. Hope to hear from you soon. Over and out. See you next time.